What's up, y'all? It's Mickey coming back to you with a little mail day. Nothing too crazy here. I have just three actual pickups. Then I ripped two hangers of the update. Like these are like it got nothing crazy, but these are the cooler stuff. And then a little blowout cards purchase. I picked up what I thought was a 1,600 count box of Bears base rookies and inserts for $20, but I misread it because he was selling 500 card boxes for $10 and 1,600 for 20, and I thought he had a Bears box for 20, and I was like, oh, I feel like I actually don't have a ton of like base cards in like my collection of like players from like over 5 years ago, and I was like 1,600 cards for $20. That's like under 2 cents a card technically. And I know this is going to be like base, but even technically, if it's 1,600 base cards of Matt Forte for 2 cents a piece, I technically still can't lose. But I misread it, and it was a 500 card count box, and even for $20, and I paid $20, and the seller didn't like notice or say anything. And I just messaged him afterwards. I was like, "Hey, like, I like misread this. I technically, like, this is completely my fault for misreading it, but I just wanted to let you know that I technically misread this and overpaid you by $10, just because I thought it was weird that like the seller didn't notice, even though it's my fault." He offered to send me $10 back, and I was like, "No, it's fine. It's my error. Like, Merry Christmas." So it's still like 4 cents a piece for cards. Actually, a lot of like Brian Urlacher, Hester, Charles Tillman base cards. Um, Only, which I think was actually probably like 350 of the 500 cards. A lot of like Alshon Jeffrey, Jay Cutler stuff in there, but there's a lot of like third year Hester base, some like 2004 Chrome like or lacquer base. So like weird purchase, but for 4 cents a card, I can't really complain. But then half the reason I did this was for five also, so I got that for 20. But then for $5 a piece, um, he had a stack of 40 Mcnabb cards. I top loaded and sleeved all of them. So this would be 12 cent, 12.5, 12.5 cents a card. And then also just because I and the same thing, because it was kind of like the same price for every player. Also one for Drew Brees, because I just think Drew Brees, it has kind of an underrated card market, and I just don't mind picking up cheap stuff with him. And like 8 or 9 of the cards, he was in a Chargers uniform, so that's like second to fourth year Breeze. So I can't really lose on that. So I'm just gonna go through all of this stuff real quick. There also weren't that many dupes in here. I'm gonna fly through some of the. I'm gonna just because they're all base cards, couple inserts. I'm gonna just go through what I think is like less cool to cool. Mcnabb, ESPN, '05 Zenith, Classics, which is funny. I actually think I had this because 2 years ago at Nats, I think '03 Classics were the boxes that Joey and Brad were ripping, and they gave me all their Bears, McNabb, and Harrison base, and I just feel like that was one of them. So kind of funny right there. '05 Contenders, certified from '05 or '06. '05 Classics. Yes, we are getting excited about base here. I will end with non-base, don't worry. Just '05 upper deck. Very clean right there. Flair. '05 throwback threads. Playoff honors. I think there's actually 3 of these. Are these the 2 dupes? Yeah, those are the 2 dupes. I think that's '05 honors. This is '05 tops because it was the 50th anniversary. One of these is the base, and I think this is the Pro Bowl insert. McNabb did make a couple Pro Bowls back in his day. Some nice little Bowman's Best base. Um, Bowman draft picks and prospects. I remember not this year. This is '07, but I think in '08. I think '08. I ripped a ton of that because that's when I was 11 years old, and like that was the era when I would go be like, we were at the store with my mom, be like, Mom, back when like even the 7-Eleven and the Walgreens had like the $2 packs like on the counter, I'd be like, Mom, can I get a pack of football cards? Probably had like a Matt Ryan or something back in the day. Definitely Darren McFadden. I used to love Darren McFadden. Don't even know what that is. Not a big fan of that base card, but it's a base card. This is just the way the base looks, but the silver border. Just some other cool Mcnabbs. I'll stop when there's like cooler ones. This is a different Bowman base. I think this card looks really stupid. That's just my opinion. Don Russ. Okay, this is a second year Mcnabb. That is Pacific. Not much more Mcnabb, and then we'll get to cool stuff. Don't worry. Bang. This is really cool. The shine on that is immaculate. Second year Victory. I just think the Victory bases look really cool. That's another second year Mcnabb. This is 2002 Stadium Club. I think Stadium Club just looks really clean. Ovation's really cool. The texture on Ovation is really rigid, just kind of like those like rigid chips. O2 Heritage with the throwback design. Fleer Ultra, I just really like the foil on the name. O2 exclusive, don't even know what that is, but I like the kind of shine to that. Skybox, that's a 2000 Skybox. Only two more Mcnabbs. I think that's another second year. And this is my favorite of the Mcnabbs. This is a second year Mcnabb, 2000 Stadium Club. I just think that design is so sick and so clean. And now let's get into the Breezes. So a lot of these, like, I think there's might be a couple 2014 cards in here, but a lot of these are like newer or older Breezes. So like right there, there's a Strata, another Strata, Contenders base, Threads base, 2010 Topps Prime. That's just a really clean looking base card. Unrivaled, I think. Another Threads, Valor, I believe. Rookie and Stars, Don Russ, Certified. Okay, then we're going to come up on some cooler Breezes in a second. Contenders. Just clean 2012 Topps. I just think that's so clean. And then the 2010 Topps, which I just think is so much cleaner. I just low-key love Topps Magic. I think it's such a clean design. I think that's a really fun card. Like 2008 limited, so that's a little older. This is not a refractor, but this is just 2011 platinum, but it has like the foil refractor finish to it. 2015 Select, so one of the first years of Select. This is an older 2010 Topps Finest. Like, I like that older stuff. This is 2008 Topps Finest. This is the only one that was kind of warped and came in bad condition, but it's fine. And then this is, what, 2012? No, this is 2015 Topps Chrome, so that would be Jameis's rookie year. And I think these are the cooler Breezes right here. 2014 Prism's a third-year Prism, but I like that. 2006 Contenders rookie season ticket, so that's technically, I believe, an insert. 2006 Threads, so that's an older Breeze right there. This is a Magic insert, Magical Moments. I just think that's really clean, and that's from 2010. Now we have a bunch of Charger stuff. So this is 2002. So this would be second year Breeze, right? Yeah, 2002 is second year Breeze. This is probably my favorite one. I don't know what this is. This is another 2002. This is second year Breeze. It's from Gridiron Kings. Crowning moment. Like, this just looks so clean. I don't know what it's worth. Some of these could be worth closer to $1 or $2. I don't know. I just picked up 40 of them for $5 total. Second year Breeze die cut from Crown. Second year Breeze honors base. Second year Breeze Fleer Maximum, I think it is. This is a third year Breeze, just upper deck base card, super clean. Third year Breeze honor roll, and the last one, this is from 05 rookie debut. So I think that's kind of cool right there. And if you don't like that, I just showed you a bunch of base cards for a couple minutes, and we'll get to the cool stuff in a second. So now 2 hangers of update. Like, got nothing super cool, but I'll just like fly through this stuff real quick. Drake Baldwin, Cam Smith. Got a Nicholas rookie. City Boys. I think that's Judge and Jazz. Little Shohei insert. Roki. Schwellenbach. Cam Smith on the 35th anniversary. I thought this was kind of cool. I don't know if this is the base version or not, or if this is like a parallel. Because I think all the cards in this subset could be foil, but that's the Matt Boyd, former Guardian. What's up, Stotty? But that's the All-Star Game card, which is an update parallel, but I don't know if all of them are foil or not. You know, like Noah Cameron, Caden Dana. This is kind of cool. It's like the pink diamond diamante or whatever. I don't know who Mark Church is, but these cards look super sick. They put so many rookies in update in Series 2. A couple Jackson Jobs. That's actually Joey's favorite player. Some more diamonds of Chase Lee and Dane Myers. I do know who Dane Myers is. He was pretty solid the second half of the year in fantasy. Chase Lee, no idea who you are. The first pitch cards. We got Big Sean. Dude, Big Sean's really funny because my mom's family is from Detroit, so I remember when I was a kid, like my cousin who's like 7 years older than me knows nothing about music, but I just remember when I was younger and she was like in high school, college age, like she was just like, Big Sean is like gonna be like the biggest thing in music, and Big Sean just is nothing. Chandler Sampson, that's kind of cool because I think he led the league in steals by a lot, even though he got sent down for like a month in the middle of the season. I don't know how many cards he has, so I just think that's cool to me. And then I guess these would be like the 3 best ones. Marcelo Mayer, I mean, it's a base, but he's just really good. This is also like the Diamond Diamante, but this is like Agustin Ramirez. I think he was like close to being an all-star last year. He was really good last year. And then probably the best one out of 2025. I mean, it's only 2 hangers. I didn't like bust like a hobby box. But Rhett Lauder, he had a pretty good year. So some of the stuff is probably just stuff I'll hold on to or maybe throw up on eBay in a couple weeks when I just, you know, like, oh, I want to sell 20 random cards and get like $60 back to fund some purchases. And my 3 actual pickups, I'll go in reverse order. I think this one was like $5 or $6. It's about what it goes for. Not like a steal or anything, but I also just didn't have one, and I just thought this was really clean. This is a Leaf Metal rookie of Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, best power forward of all time. If you disagree with that, you just don't know ball. Tim Duncan is significantly the best power forward of all time, and it's not even remotely close. Probably I would put Giannis at this point right behind him as the second. But if you think like Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, I mean, Dirk is one of my favorite players of all time. I have a PC of him, but he's not. He's maybe 5th, but he's probably just outside the top 5. His KG is probably also ahead of him. But if you think like Barkley, KG, Karl Malone, are also like fuck Karl Malone, are ahead of Tim Duncan, you are insane. I would need to pull up his basketball reference again. But like Tim Duncan, one has 2 MVPs. Obviously 5 rings. He was finals MVP on 3 of those 5 teams. So he was the best player on 3 of those 5 teams. And one of those was, I believe, his second year when they still had David Robinson. He won finals MVP. Insane. He's like a 15-time All-Star, and also like, I'm pretty sure at least like 12-time first team all defense. I actually don't know if he has a D point or not, but it's like he is such a mix of like accolades. Like, I don't think he's top 5 in rebounds even, but like he's like top 10 in all of the actual stats. Then he was like one of the best, an all-star. I just think it's because like when he played, it was like I feel like he was overshadowed a lot by a lot of players, but Tim Duncan is the fucking best. So that's a really cool, elongated way of saying Tim Duncan rookie. And 2 other cards. This is actually a Jordan. First Jordan I picked up in a while. I think this was about like a $10 pickup, which is about what it goes for. I just thought this was super cool, and I know I did not have it. This is from 95 Fleer. The Double Trouble. I think that's really cool because it's Jordan throwing a dime, no look. And then there's, oh shit, I'm so stupid. Who is 23 on the Bulls? Like, oh wait, who's 23 on the Bulls? This is Michael Jordan. I'm so stupid. Okay, but am I wrong though? Like, this dude is wearing 23, but doesn't that low key not look like? Doesn't this low key not look like Michael Jordan? Like, I really, is this like an error? Like, this dude is wearing 23. I swear to God, was this like the last person to wear 23 on the Bulls before Michael Jordan? Like, that is not Michael Jordan. First, I thought that could have been Scotty because he's just the second dude you think, but like, that is not Michael Jordan. Yeah, I don't. I'm very confused by this card because that does not look like Michael Jordan, but this dude's wearing 23. It's like double trouble, so it's be two mics. I swear to God, that is not Michael Jordan right there. That's really funny. And the best card I picked up, I already put it in the mag because I think it's gorgeous. About a $25 pickup, which is what this goes for. But and I haven't picked up. I think like last year I might have bought a new Frank Thomas auto, but this is with Canerco and everything. I'm in my refractor bag. We're gonna slide it with Rhett Lauder. It's from 1997, Bowman's Best. And if you know anything about what I pick up in 1997 Bowman's Best, you should know what this is. Around also the fact that it's like a $20 or $30 card. That is Frank Thomas. I slid this really poorly. That's the Atomic Refractor. 97, so 95, 94, so 93, so 94 was the first year of refractors. 97 was the first year of Atomic Refractors. And that's just gorgeous. I do have the Canerco of this. Actually, the Canerco I have of this might be 98. I don't know if Canerco has one in 97. I could get the years mixed up. But if 97 is the year Canerco has one, I have it. And I also have, actually, that could be from like 98. I have the Deion Sanders baseball version of this too. But like cards like this are so dope. So that's it. Yeah. So the cooler cards I picked up were the Jordan, the Frank Thomas, and Tim Duncan rookie. I think that's really cool. Also, that's really fun. Like, this is actually the first video I think I made in a while where there might not be a single autograph. There was probably no reason for me to show the Topps hanger stuff. It was just next to this. But all this Mcnabb, 40 Mcnabbs, $5 help build the PC. And then slowly but surely, like for essentially 13 cents a card, I will pick up Drew Brees base, especially ones that are from 2002 to 2015, and half of them are for like 02 to 08. Like, I'll pick those up all day. Because say what you want, like, they're not going to go crazy. But especially the stuff in the early 2000s, like, that was up until at least like 2012. That was not junk wax. So I know like even now you can get like Marino and Elway base cards in like 50-cent boxes. But like that wasn't junk wax. So my thoughts are like I'll probably end up holding on to a lot of these. But like even like stuff like this second year Breeze, like I would have to imagine in 10 to 15 years, just by sitting on a pile of this, like a lot of these end up being like $2 to $5 cards. I could be wrong. And even if I am wrong, that is just nasty. Even if I am wrong, it's like you can't lose money buying Drew Brees cards for 13 cents a piece, because then eventually when they're at least go up to like $1 a piece, kind of like how Marino and Elway cards and like junk wax do, then if I really wanted to, these 40 cards, like in 10 years, really bad investing, but these 40 cards, when they're at least worth $1 a piece, you can sell them easily for 50 cents a piece, then boom, I have $20 on a $5 purchase. What you know about making money. The McNabbs will probably decrease in value because he is not an all-time quarterback at all, and I'm going to hold on to these. But everything is not about making money. It's about having fun. So much love. Have a phenomenal rest of your day, and keep on collecting.